Welcome to Dr. Fred Markets. This is not financial advice. While most people ignore what's happening in the markets, a few choose to pay attention. And that difference, that simple choice to stay informed, changes everything. You're one of them. Let's get into it.
Markets are paying you to ignore rockets and obey lawyers. The Dow rips 500 points, Nvidia bleeds 4%, Bitcoin faceplants 5%, and everyone screams volatility like it means something. Meanwhile, SpaceX quietly drops an IPO site for retail, chasing a $75 billion valuation that turns every other growth story into a side quest. And in the background, the Supreme Court hands the telecom giants a regulatory gift basket that rewires who controls the pipes of the internet and the pricing power on every digital dollar you spend. Here's the one thing you were not told today. The future cash flow of rockets depends more on boring telecom law than on cool Mars memes. Signal 1. SpaceX is not a rocket company. It's a vertically integrated toll booth. Rockets are just the shovel. The gold mine is bandwidth. Starlink already has over 3,000 satellites up, millions of subscribers, and a recurring revenue machine that makes your favorite growth stock look like a lemonade stand. A $75 billion IPO at this stage says one thing: they're selling you growth before they sell you the true monopoly story. Signal 2. The Supreme Court just sided with the Trump-era deregulation stance on telecom. Translation: the US just reaffirmed light touch, rules for the people who own the pipes. Less regulation, more pricing power, more creative bundling, more "we're not a utility, we're a platform, pay us." The last time telecom operators got a soft regulatory hand, you got data caps, mystery fees, and better margins for shareholders. Signal 3. Every AI, crypto, streaming, and cloud trade depends on exactly two things: compute and connectivity. Nvidia sells the picks. But if your GPUs can't talk to anything without a satellite or fiber line, the real landlord is whoever owns the sky and the ground pipes. SpaceX is racing to own the sky. Big Telecom already owns the ground. Here's the cliff. Everyone is betting on the software circus, while the people who own the wires and the satellites quietly lock in rent on the entire show. Now stitch these signals together. A $75 billion rocket plus satellite IPO landing in a market that just watched Nvidia get punched in the face tells you what's happening. Markets are rotating from infinite AI hype into who controls the toll booths. AI stocks are growth, connectivity is tax, and tax always gets paid. Regulatory wins like this telecom ruling are not sexy, but they define the ceiling on how brutal those tolls can become. Dereg telecom plus a scale-obsessed satellite network means we're walking into a world where a handful of firms set the base price of being online anywhere. Every ChatGPT query, every Bitcoin trade, every Zoom call, every server ping, revenue line for someone who does not care about your feelings, only your throughput.
Let's pause for a second. Ask yourself this: do you really understand what's happening in the markets right now? Do you know how this affects your money, your savings, your future? Most people don't, and that's exactly why you're here. Let's keep going.
So here's the one mechanism you need to understand. Software margins depend on hardware cost, and hardware efficiency depends on bandwidth assumptions. When bandwidth is cheap and abundant, software eats the world. When bandwidth is scarce and controlled, the owners of the pipes eat software's margins. Rockets launching internet from orbit are step 1. Courts allowing telecoms to stay unchained is step 2. Step 3 is a world where the PE multiples follow the rent collectors, not the app builders. Everyone chases the app store. The real money was owning the iPhone. Same story here. People drool over AI models, altcoins, and streaming platforms. The actual trade is dull. Who sends the bits? Who meters the bits? Who invoices the bits? SpaceX IPO is your loud distraction. Telecom law change is the quiet power grab that makes Starlink's unit economics work. What does this mean for you? First, stop thinking rockets are cool tech. Start thinking satellites are moving telecom from towers to orbit. When you see a launch, translate it into incremental addressable market for global bandwidth. Ships, planes, rural, war zones, blackouts. It's not space, it's ARPU. Second, when you read regulatory decision, don't skim it. Ask one brutal question. Does this give the pipe owner more freedom to set terms? If yes, that is long-term multiple expansion potential. Not tomorrow's trade, the next decade's quiet compounder. Third, your action. This is not financial advice, but here's the truth. Build a watch list that separates apps from toll booths. Apps, flashy, crowded, fragile. Toll booths, satellite internet operators, fiber owners, core telecom infrastructure, boring as hell and paid by everybody. Next time the market panic sells growth after a 500-point Dow swing, you don't chase the dip on the circus. You check if any toll booth names got dragged down with it, and you study those balance sheets instead. One thing you learned today: rockets plus law equals pricing power, not just sci-fi. One mechanism: control over bandwidth, strengthened by light regulation, dictates who taxes the entire digital economy. One action: map your portfolio exposure away from content and toward connectivity, because the future cash flows live where the bits get priced, not where the memes get made. Subscribe if you want more of this. No hopium, no doom, just the uncomfortable math everyone else buries under buzzwords. This is not financial advice. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel and check the links in the first comment below.
That's it for today on Dr. Fred Markets. I hope this gave you clarity and a new perspective. Remember, this is not financial advice. Always do your own research. If you found this useful, subscribe. It's free and it helps the channel grow. Find me on the blog at drfredmarkets.com and join the newsletter via the link in bio. I'm Dr. Fred Markets. See you in the next one.